Outspoken Silent One. I got an article today. Got it from the Post Millennial News, Politics, Culture, and Lifestyle. I don't know how reliable and how much information I could actually really get off this site. This is the first time I ever looked at an article on this site, but it's something I came across that I just think it's kind of weird because it goes along with everything with, especially over the weekend with the 2 deputies being shot in California, then the other one being shot and killed, or the officer being shot in the face and killed on Sunday morning. But it's to move along with kind of that stuff because it has to do with the police. The article headlined is Sacramento activists climb on to moving police car and protesters claim it ran him over, which you can see in the videos that I'll show here in a little bit from the people off Twitter that he didn't run him over. These guys are attacking these police officers and they're trying to make something bigger out of something that's their fault. They're trying to come up with all these accusations to go against the police. Starting it off, it shows, you can see it's an obvious thing, the guy's on top of the car. And what he does is, to me, it's a lot on his part because, one, you shouldn't even have been doing this in the first place. And but the way the police have been getting attacked and everything, and that goes back for what happened this past weekend. I mean, police have, I could see it that they have reasoning to do what they are, to come out and, because they're being attacked, flat out being attacked. And I don't like this. This is my issue with it because they're doing their job and these people are attacking them, but yet they're not allowed to defend themselves. These people can't. All these Black Lives Matter and Antifa people can protect themselves as much as they want. And yet, as soon as the police do it, if it's provoked or not, it's wrong. If the police bring it on themselves or whatever, it's wrong. Now, I've said plenty of times in my videos, I do not support these people because I don't agree with their actions and I back the blue. As if you support your police and you actually show you care about their laws, your life is 100 times easier. It really is. I've had trouble with the police in the past, and I've yet to be attacked. Not because I'm white, because I go with what they tell me to do. I've done it all my life. Anytime I have an encounter with a police officer, I do as they say. And I've never once experienced any type of force put on me. I've never resisted. I've been falsely accused of things, and I still went with what they said because I know they're doing their job. I don't expect them to come in to somewhere I work and tell me how to do my job and completely ignore everything I say. This is exactly the way I see these things. Now, it starts off, activists showing their opposition to President Trump in Sacramento today blocked traffic, attacked police cars, and were surprised when the officers were not stopped by the persons on their car and continued driving. On social media, activists reported the officers ran someone over, but a glance at the video gives another probable scenario. Namely, that a man climbed on top of the moving car and seemed to expect that to stop the vehicle's progress, it did not do it. This is the first video. After Highway Patrol leaves the area, activists screamed obscenities at them. And it's another video from it. Actually, it's the same video that I just showed. The activists who climbed on top of the moving police car was thrown from it when it didn't stop. After the man falls from the moving car, activists voiced their amazement and consternation that an officer would have the temerity to continue driving despite his car being attacked. Again, why? Why do you have to do this? And if you do this to anybody, why do you think this person will think, okay, this person stays on my car, nothing's going to happen? They're not acting in an aggressive way. Yes, you're climbing on their car. I mean, they're in the safety of their car. You climb on it, you're breaking the safety of that they would feel. They're going to retaliate, just like any normal American or anybody, I believe, in the world will do this. I mean, I would retaliate. I would have done the exact same thing the police officer did, because there's so many people out there. I'm not going to step out and say, stop. Because as soon as I do, I mean, we've seen it plenty of times, these people they use power by numbers and attack. The only time they really attack is if they're in numbers, or you take the California shooting of the 2 deputies, if it's a complete surprise and unaware. And this is the exact same thing that comes about it. Now this video, this guy makes more sense because just how he titled it before he put it on Twitter was "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Black Lives Matter activists attack police vehicles in Sacramento." This is just another angle from the first video. President Donald Trump was in Sacramento today and spoke to reporters at McClellan Air Force Base about the wildfires that are spreading in the West, which is really a major thing going on. I mean, it's affecting so many states in the west side of our country. I mean, he's being blamed for it somehow, saying it was climate change is because of him. This is what's happening over and over and over again, even though it is a climate thing. Yes, there are government things that they could be doing to help improve, but it's not the first time fires have happened in California. It is not the first time wildfires like this have happened in the world. I mean, it's happened for years, and it's still occurring. So he's not the guilty person in this. Just because he's in office doesn't mean he's guilty of causing these fires. Now, while he was addressing wildfires, protesters were demonstrating against the president and against his supporters. Which, again, you're going after him just because he is Trump. Or you're going after people because they support Trump. We've seen too many attacks this way. And yet, this is all our fault. This is all the right wing's fault. This is all Trump's fault. Because people are defending themselves. And it really gets to you. Drivers are being attacked at a pro-Trump rally by Black Lives Matter protesters in Sacramento. And it's another one. At one point, a crowd activists appeared to swarm and from the shoulder of the road into the roadway and push into traffic. A car was unable to avoid the activists. So right there, you're going into a road into traffic. I mean, there's no police trying to stop you from what you're doing. If you would have done everything like you're supposed to for protests, you would be able to block the road without risk of something happening. The police would block the road so you can practice your First Amendment and use peaceful protest. But no, these people have to go about it their own way, try to create their own laws and rules, and this is how it keeps happening. So of course, it's Trump's fault. It's his supporters' fault. They attacked them. So I still don't agree with these things. This video it's actually titled, the video is titled, "In Sacramento, California, outside a Trump event, somebody jumped onto the hood of a police cruiser, and they are now claiming that the police ran him over," which we clearly see in that first video. Even in the second video, it does not happen. The guy jumps on his car, the cop goes forward, and the guy clearly falls off the car. Being ran over means the car went over the guy, which is completely different than what happened because the guy went over it. He wasn't going fast to hit him. The officer was basically stopped. They climb on. Guess what? You're going to fall. I would have done the same thing. Even the police officer in the video, I believe it was a different one though, I don't believe it was the one that was driving, actually circled back around, and they went off on it. We even had the guy in rollerblades of all things, with all his padded gear for riding rollerblades, kicked the car. Right there, I would have arrested the guy because he's vandalizing government property. But that was me. I would have done things different. Stolen from a commie. Alternate angle of incident with the car being attacked above. They are framing this as the car trying to run them over. Again, that's it. They just keep trying to bring out their own view and how they see it compared to the way everyone else would see it and how it would be legally understandable. Associated Press reported that a driver swerved into a small crowd of people protesting, and that while one person was treated for their injuries on the scene, another was taken to a nearby hospital. Trump was in California, fresh from a few days of rallies in Nevada, and spoke about the need for forest management as a means to control wildfires. West Coast Governors Gavin Newsom, California, Kate Brown, Oregon, and Jay Inslee, Washington, have stated their belief that the fires are a result of ongoing climate change crisis. Okay, climate change. It is brought on by years and years of something affecting the climate. You got methane, you have exhaust fumes, everything like this. So this stuff has actually been in the making for over 100 years. And not just our fault. Cows put off methane every time a cow farts, every time burps, or whatever a cow does, it's putting off methane. And it's a huge amount of methane every single day. And yet, this is Trump's fault because it's nature. Once quoted, but it is about forest management. Trump told those gathered at McClellan. Please remember the words, very simple, forest management. Please remember. That is where the government comes in because they can get rid of they can get rid of all the different, if they're the trees that are dead or dying with numerous dead limbs, which is an instant risk of fire, quick to burn, quick to spread, and this is the exact same outcome. Protests and violent rioting that began in late spring after the death of George Floyd in police custody in Minneapolis appeared to be morphing into more generalized anti-Trump demonstrations, where the president is blamed for everything from police brutality to emergence of viral contagion from China to wildfires. What they mean is that that's the end of the article. But what they mean by that is that he's being blamed for all this stuff. I mean, it's his fault these protests are going on. All these rioting keep appearing. It's not because of him. The Democrats, especially Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, are throwing it out there that it is Trump's fault. It is his fault that these things are happening. If it was his fault, why was he trying to defend everything and telling people this is not right, this should not be happening, and yet it's his fault? I mean, he wasn't the one that hid in his basement for 6 months before he ever admitted after he came out of his basement, because the polls are showing this is affecting you, yet this was not a problem. And now 6 months later, oh, it's affecting my polls, even coming from a person from CNN, which the network leans heavy on the Democratic side with Biden, says the polls are starting to be affected. Now Biden comes out of his bunker. These are bad. Violence is bad. It should not happen. But yet he never went on to say, stop doing it. He didn't say stop doing it. So all the police brutality, Trump is telling cops, okay, shoot a guy because he resists. Or like an article that I read not too long ago over the weekend was a police officer brutally beat a guy in handcuffs. Of course, this guy had warrants out for his arrest. Yes, the police officer did go a little far. He claims that the man that was being arrested bit him, which we don't know. I can't say happened or did not happen because I did not see it. It does not have video of this. So we don't have proof of what actually occurred, which with everything going on, this man already had an arrest warrant out for him. And which already is okay, maybe this guy isn't as trustworthy as what he really should be. But we're going to take a word of the cop. The officer was put on administrative leave pending investigation because, and I will say he did go a little overboard, but after the events of this weekend, because I read that article right after I started seeing more about what happened in California with the 2 deputies, it didn't bug me, it didn't bother me, because this is how police officers are being treated. They have the right to protect themselves and to protect the people with them or around them. So when they say this is his fault, and with this one man, the officer, the guy's left side of his face was nothing but a bubble coming off the side of his face because the officer hit him so many times. Was punching him in the face so much. Yes, that was a little excessive. Yes, I even said the same thing about Jacob Blake being shot. 7 shots was excessive. He lived, that was one thing. Now, this other guy that was punched and hit in the face so many times, the lawyer from whatever other city, state that came in to defend the driver with the warrant demanded that the man be released from jail from this warrant. Well, the judge denied it. Great for that judge. He was not. He did the right thing. It doesn't matter if he was attacked. He still had a warrant. He still had this warrant out for his arrest. So these are the things that is why are they Trump's fault? He's not the one telling people. He's not telling cops, get in your police car, go hunt these people down. No, it's because these people bring it upon themselves. They do something to bring the police to the scene. It was Jacob Blake. It was George Floyd. It was Rashad Brooks. It was... Now this, these people bring it to themselves. If you don't break the law, the police aren't going to show up. My point exactly on that. And others say the exact same thing I do because it is stupid. If you don't break the law, you don't do anything to get the police attention, you're not going to have to worry about being hit or shot by an officer. But don't do anything stupid. Now, the guy was going along the lines with the same thing. What George Floyd did, I can't breathe. I'm sorry, that's going to be the new thing for anybody to say in police custody. I can't breathe. But George Floyd was crying about it, saying that exact same thing before he was ever even put on the ground. He could not breathe. Me, I looked at it as it was because of the drugs that he put in his system. That's all it is. He couldn't breathe because his drugs were coming out. He was starting to be affected by the drug. So, and the whole viral thing from China, that's a completely different video, which I know I've covered because, and it's in my Cuomo video. How is it Trump's fault that the entire world, he tried to shut down the country? He banned travel to and from China. But yet, they say he didn't take action. Because when he did say that, what was Biden's reaction? It's xenophobic. He doesn't like immigrants. Guess what? He was stopping them from bringing this virus over. Right there, he was already doing it. And there's plenty of people that's going to argue it, but I don't see it that way. So, this is the reason I brought this video out, because it is something serious. It is something that needs to be seen, because it's another example of people going for victimization to be on the news for even a quick second, just for a quick mention of it, just to help promote anti-police and anti-Trump. It doesn't happen. This is the point we have dash cams. This is why so many places are even going to body cams. Because of these people. Because of actions like this. Which they also hurt themselves more, I believe. And that was another video I did, where I thanked Black Lives Matter and Antifa for recording their crimes. And then posting it online, which results in, okay, now we have this. So take the photo from the video that they post. We're looking for this man. Can you identify it? Guess what? They can. And that's how it's happening. That is not helping their cause. It's actually hurting the cause. I don't want this. I hate myself because I'm drawing attention to this fix. And so when you hear, okay, he hit a guy. No, the guy was on the car. The guy that landed beside the car because looks to me that he got stuck on the mirror on the driver's side, and it pulled him down. Now, if you notice in the first video, there's a woman that as soon as the guy falls off the car, she starts to see it. She turns around and holds her arms up in an X. Right there, that is telling you they already have hand signals and everything to show what needs to happen during the video or during the riots and protests. They have this stuff planned out. She's automatically putting her arms up in an X saying, we need medical help. How is this not organized? Which I will go through is Another video will be posted about the same time. It comes from the same source, from the same site. This is what, right? This isn't just people stepping up as a movement for justice and everything. It is because it is set up and planned. It is organized. That's why it's called an organization, because they organize what they do and how to do it. And to see this is getting worse and worse every day. It needs to stop, which it won't, until either A, which people are calling for, is dismantling, defunding, or anything else of taking out the police entirely. Because we're seeing more and more police chiefs that are actually retiring or resigning. We have others that are just cities completely getting rid of the police station, bringing in civil groups, which would not help at all, in my opinion. It's going to make it worse because they don't go through the same training as police officers. Who's going to train them how to go about things on arrest? I see it as they're going to have to go through some sort of law enforcement. Might not be the direct police, but it'll be some sort of law enforcement. Which right there, you're getting rid of the people teaching you this to bring in others. And if you're bringing in civil people come to do this, that is only bringing in more racism and more hate because the state of our country. That is what's going on. So this is one video that I had to share because it was just disturbing in so many ways to myself. And this is how we're seeing our country. So I ask, because I live in a community that supports our police, our firemen, the paramedics. We support all our stuff. So I don't see it here as much, but I still see it throughout the country, and more people need to back their police. You back the police, show them the support you have for them. I pass a police officer if I'm walking into a store or I'm walking through a store, at a gas station, where I can directly say something to them. I thank them. I've even stopped along the edge of a police officer would be doing something along the edge of the road, might be talking to somebody. I actually stop. And of course, they're going to pay attention to, okay, now this person's just randomly stopping. And I thank them for everything they've done, for protecting so many lives, for putting their lives in danger by running to the danger as everybody's running away from it. So please, everybody, look at your police and thank them every chance you get. Tell them how much you support them and how you feel. It will raise their morality and help things move on to better situations that much faster for our country. So with that, I want to say thanks for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. I'm putting out more videos as much as I can, if not daily, every other day, or every couple of days. I try and get a video up. Please share it. Get my name out there more. I'm a small channel. Not many views, not many followers, and I need the support. Thanks.